Look, your car has an apex. Your track has an apex.
What?
Listen, breathe. I'll explain. In geometry, an apex refers to the topmost point or vertex of a shape, such as the point of a triangle, cone, or the peak of a parabola. So let's address the beginning, the track apex. It is the peak in curvature where your inner line lays. If you look at the late apex, this is where the inner line or the width of the track is much bigger on entry, and the peak happens in the later phase of the corner on track. Same thing for an early apex, something like an early apex or even two apexes. The peaks, if we take Lime Rock and T1 and T2, there's a peak in curvature at the beginning of the corner where the curve begins. There's a peak right down the middle, but we avoid that one. I'll explain to you later. And there's a sharpness at T2. This is where you will call your apexes. But now, is your car shaping an apex at the apex of T1 and at the apex of T2 at Lime Rock? The answer is no. Why? Because whenever you trace a line on track, you trace a curve. And when you trace a curve on track, you will have the apex of that curve, if that curve is not a perfect circle. If we follow the friction circle or friction ellipse, you will realize that when you trail brake and you distribute load from longitudinal to lateral, your tire forces are limited by an elliptic shape. The nature of that elliptic shape is the reason why when you trail brake into a corner, you start to increase the curvature of your racing line, and at the maximum lateral load of the corner, you reach the peak of that curvature. In other words, the apex of the car. Therefore, in a double apex 180 degrees corner, you will clip apex 1 while trail brake. You will go mid-track in the middle, and you will go back and clip the second apex already on throttle. That midpoint is the car's apex. This idea can expand to all corners on Earth. It all just depends where is the offset with respect to how the track is shaped. For example, if we look at No Name at Spa, it's a corner where you pick up the throttle a bit before you clip the apex curve. So the apex of the car, which is the point where the car will have the utmost lateral force and the minimum speed through the corner, is not your physical track apex point. It varies from corner to corner. Another example is Luffield. When you approach Luffield, it is a long, more than 180 degrees corner. And the shape of the corner on the inner part of the corner is quite consistent. And also the track width on entry is more or less the track width on exit. However, you do not just ride the curve throughout the whole corner. What will happen is that you will exit way too wide. What you need to do to distribute the forces of the tire accordingly is you need to trail brake into Luffield by clipping the beginning of the corner on the curve, run just a little bit wide in the middle. This is where you got the maximum of lateral load, but this is where you got the minimum speed of the corner, and this is where you start rolling on power to then go clip the second apex and then run wide on exit. Your car's apex is in between the two, and your track apexes are on track, and they're both different things. When you understand that concept, you'll be much more disciplined on how you trail brake to not trail brake too deep and to not apply the power at apex or past apex. At a corner like No Name, if you apply the power right after the inner curve, you completely messed up the corner. You're way off the corner. Therefore, this knowledge of car apex to tri apex is just an acknowledgement that your tire forces will dictate the racing line around a restricted shape on track. The important points to keep in mind is that whenever you're about to roll on power, this is where your minimum speed comes through, and this is where your car apex is. Now you need to place that car apex wisely through the corner so you can distribute the forces in a parabolic or elliptical shape through that corner evenly from entry to exit.
We have a free ebook on six drills on how to get faster in the sim. Can also be applied in real life. You can click the link in the description below to get your free copy right now. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on track.